Welcome to our monthly Community Safety and Security Live Forum here on the Serenity Resource Connector. And for this forum, we're recognizing our community guardians in Area 3, our police officers who have been going above and beyond. So in this forum, we are recognizing our outstanding police officers from Area 3 who have significantly contributed to community safety. And joining us will be ACP Calvin Allen, our commanding officer for Area 3, who leads the strategic safety initiatives across Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. We also have with us among the officers, Sergeant Deane, our 2024 Governor General's Awardee, who exemplifies excellence in law enforcement and community service. Joining us also will be our very own Constable Rojehn Holt, hope I got it right, our community relations champion, police community ties through mentorship and youth engagement. Constable Lennox, Lasco Top Cop, who organizes community outreach programs and supports youth development, rounded out by District Constable Ericton Mullings, Lasco Top Cop, who founded a charity club to support education and local schools, improving community well-being. These officers represent dedication and leadership, making a lasting impact in their communities across Area 3, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth. And if this is your first time tuning in, our Community Safety and Security Forum is brought to you in partnership with the Area 3 Police and generously supported through the sponsorship of National Self-Serve Wholesale in Maypen, Clarendon. And if you're new to this space, let me wish you a warm welcome. And be sure to join the community so that you can stay abreast of what we do here in this space outside of safety and security. So let's get the discussion started. ACP Calvin Allen, let's get you on screen with me. ACP Allen. Welcome back.
Hey, good evening, Maham Witter. Happy to join you on platform along with a host of my hardworking officers. It's a pleasure to be here and to engage with you and with the entire listening audience across the Area 3 platform and all those that are online elsewhere. So I'm looking forward to the engagement with you for the next 45 minutes or so.
All right, great. And it's great to be able to see you this time. So for those who joined us before and were not able to put a face to the name, this is ACP Calvin Allen here with us. All right, so let's get started. Based on your experience, ACP, how do police community partnerships enhance safety and trust in the communities across Area 3? You've been in Area 3 at the end for a little bit now. A lot has been happening. What's been your experience as it relates to police community partnerships?
And if I might start first of all with the evidence that is on platform, and the evidence speaks of the team that is there. And I want to use this opportunity to congratulate them for the hard work that they have put in and to have been so rewarded and recognized in their different fields. Out of St. Elizabeth, we have District Constable Mullings, and I was privileged to sit on the platform of that interview panel, and he delivered well. Sterling himself, Lennox, delivered well also. And Cova is a household name throughout the community safety and security landscape, and I want to congratulate him for the award and the recognition through the Governor General's chair. And Constable Holt is doing a fabulous job in Clarendon. Later down in the program, we'll talk about some of the experiences and some of the successes out of Clarendon. But let me say that the partnership between the police and the citizens is crucial. And whatever we are achieving as an organization, it is because of the partnership with the people, not just in Area 3, but right across the country. And so the community safety and security branch is playing that sort of a vital role in ensuring that these engagements continue. The engagements include physical visits within the communities, engaging with the persons, talking with them, sitting down, discussing the problems that they are having, and in a lot of instances, to come from those discussions with agreed approaches that ought to be taken to treat those issues. And this is what these officers have been doing. And they are just a microcosm of the greater group of officers that are out there, some right now on patrols, engaging with the community and helping to solve problems. What enriches and enhances this partnership is the level of professionalism that we bring to the table and which we expect from our officers. Because from that level of professionalism, you're naturally going to garner greater trust and greater confidence in the people. And when the people see that out of the many things that is occurring, they are able to realize that the police has their interests at heart, then it naturally strengthens the partnership. And from that strengthening, there is greater trust, there's greater cooperation, there's greater understanding, and there is a whole lot of positive spill-offs that comes from that, and which we will talk about later. So the partnership, the trust, the engagement, the dependency, the availability, the feedback are some of the crucial, just some of the crucial engagement pillars that we have embraced and which we are benefiting from in terms of those engagement with our respective communities.
Just realized I was muted. All right. Do you have any specific examples of outstanding collaborations that you have noticed in the 3 divisions to share with us?
And I had a discussion recently with the commanding officer and with some other persons, and it's fresh in our mind as to a case, a quadruple murder in 2020. And when we come to the end of it, when we summarize and look at it at the end, the involvement of the community, the relationship with the community was a key pillar in leading to very swift arrest, prosecution, persons coming forward and handing in themselves, persons confessing, the recovery of weapons. That happened out of a quadruple shooting in 2020. And it is because of that sort of a partnership that we have. You see, a lot of the citizens have realized long ago, they have realized, and we too as the police, long ago, that it has to be a partnership. It is not a us versus them. But crucial in the whole dynamics is the trust factor. And so this matter that I'm relating to you now, which took place in 2020, a lot of the solutions and the solving of this particular heinous crime was as a result of that rich partnership with the community. And then I can also speak of the most recent. I can speak of Cherry Tree Lane, and each time that I have to touch this one touches me. Each time I have to touch it. And I am not alone in terms of how we feel about what transpired there and the successes that is being reaped from it, the engagement with the people, the partnership with the ministerial fraternal, the partnership with the social agencies, the partnership with the government entities. These have become can almost call it a fabric of how the solutions have been provided, how the emotions have been not healed but healing. So the engagement and the sticking to it and keeping your word and keeping your promise and remaining confidential are crucial in terms of these two scenarios that I'm relating to you and the rich success that we have had from it because of partnership like community engagement.
Thank you for that. And X Factor is saying that a good relationship between police and citizens is key. All right. Sir Holmes is saying trust factor is crucial in forging partnerships with the citizens. All right, Lady Weller, good evening. Thank you for tuning in, and for the others who are on, it's great to have you. Feel free to join in the discussion in the comments as we continue. ACP, you shared some things that need to remain in place for these partnerships to continue and be strengthened. Are there any other specific strategies that you believe are essential in sustaining and strengthening these partnerships to ensure their effectiveness?
Well, when you look at the different entities that are involved, how can we strengthen or improve on the whole aspect of trust? How can we enhance trust? How can we improve on crime prevention? How can we cause a reduction in tension? Because the presence of the police is crucial. And the presence of the police working with the citizens, strengthening that relationship bond is vital in terms of where we go and how we go forward. And then when you bring into the mix the other crucial stakeholder agencies, if you notice, even in the Cherry Tree Lane situation, we have several different ministerial fraternals that came on board and came into this space and are still in this space and are engaging. You have different social agencies. You have private sector entities. And some persons are just so involved but not necessarily want to come up front and say anything. There are some people that are contributing so much without even going public that it is just rich and rewarding. So when you have our police in the community and it is sustained, it is not a one-off, you build that rich partnership, it naturally creates a buffer between safety and disorder. And when there is greater safety, then naturally tension is reduced within the community. Because what? The police is present. The military is present. If you go to certain places right now, as dark or as bright as it may be, the presence of our joint efforts, our JCF, our JDF, and that is a partnership, JCF, JDF, that has been here from time immemorial, and it has only gotten better. And you are seeing that greater interaction and that greater feel. People feel free to come out and to engage. We had a situation in the very Cherry Tree there where the residents that have been affected and aspects of the community wanted a chance to sort of ease the tension of the situation that transpired. And so they asked if they could engage in a sort of a bonfire type of engagement on the playing field. And we gave comprehensive support to that. JCF, JDF, other groups, and the citizens came out and they were able to engage and speak freely. And at the end of the day, there's a certain level of healing that is intertwined into that. And when you build into it, trained persons such as our ministerial, fraternal, or counseling psychologists, when we build into it our chaplaincy, and our chaplaincy has been playing a vital role in these engagements. All that comes from it is a greater trust, a strong relationship, and what do we want? Community safety. Community safety we want. And it is from these sort of engagement which we are committed to, which the commissioner has directed. It is something that he firmly believes in. And so we are committed to ensuring that what we are doing throughout, not just Clarendon, throughout the different parishes are maintained. And these engagements can only get better. And once they get better, then we have that sort of a reduced tension. We have a more orderly community, and the trust and confidence that develops from there. And there are some elements too that we want to say to our citizens to be a part of, especially as it relates to the formation of other groups, the neighborhood watch program. Those sort of engagement are rich and help to secure your own space, even without a presence of a police. Where you have effective neighborhood watch program, you realize that the incidence of crime is far less. Thank you.
Well said. Well said. And we have Inspector Mila Wallace here saying, yes, sir, we have recognized long ago partnership is the only way. All right, the comments are coming in fast and furious. Sir Holmes is saying that if we see something, say something. All right, Kian, establishing and maintaining trust is key to this partnership with citizens. And we have Maureen Thomas. We need to pray for the police force in general. They're doing a great job amidst the criticism. All right. Let's see, Josephine Coleman for over in Clarendon. There should be at least citizens and police community meetings at least once per month or bi-monthly to build trust. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we've been seeing a lot more of the widely publicized meetings. So we'll just encourage the officers to keep that going. And we have the frequent walkthroughs. I've been seeing a number of them across the area, and some even shared on the JCF main page. So we have to look out for that. All right. ACP, thank you so much for sharing. So ACP just shared about the role of police and community partnership. But how could we let you close out this segment without sharing the importance of recognizing our officers who are going above and beyond in building these relationships that we're seeking to sustain? So share with us why it's important. We have the Lasco Top Cup, but of course we have officers, a lot of officers who are doing some really awesome stuff, great initiatives, a part of a lot of community groups. Some might not even participate in the Lasco Top Cup, but we're hoping to highlight and recognize some of them in this space as we continue. All right, so go ahead, ACP Allen, and share.
So the recognition aspect of what we do is even more than a salary to some persons. Being recognized, being applauded, being a name is called, you're placed on a platform, and a button or a medal is pinned onto you by your commanding officer or by the commissioner himself. Your name is published in the media. your name is and your photograph is on our JCF website, recognizing you for your hard work and your diligence. These are things that go miles towards not only encouraging that particular individual, but all those persons who are looking on and would get that feel and that motivation from what they have witnessed. And so come next month, the commissioner leads the JCF as we celebrate 157 years of service to the nation, formed in 1867 with the mission to keep watch by day and by night. 157 years later, the JCF remains strong. And I want to also use this opportunity, to applaud our women in the organization. This year, our women celebrate 75 years of service in the organization. And there are several different functions that are being held across the island in recognizing our women for the sterling contribution that they have given to the JCF, but more so to the wider Jamaica Constabulary and the Jamaican society on a whole. So there are many activities that are planned. We have Police Week that comes up down in late November, where an entire week will be used, starting with a church service, to celebrate and to recognize our members. The team of persons that you have on platform here are persons who have gone through aspects of the Lasco Top Cop Award, and the champion will be announced later down. These levels of recognition is crucial towards this type of standards that are set, the positiveness, the warm and rich atmosphere that we seek. And what it does, it naturally transcends. And so even those that are not called by name or otherwise, they feel the rich vibes and recognition from these moments, and it naturally sends that positiveness right through the organization. So we don't pause for a second in terms of ensuring that our members are recognized. It is done at the station level. It is done at the divisional level. It is done at the area level. But from the higher heights of the high command, the commissioner leads in a positive way in ensuring that members get their recognition that they deserve. Beyond just promotion, our commissioner continues to go around the island, and beyond the members just seeing him on the electronic screen, he is physically engaging with his officers and shaking their hands and doing all that is necessary. He publishes what is known as the Commissioner's Corner in force orders each Friday. And it is a wealth of educational information outlining and reminding members as to the strategic imperatives, where we are going, how we are going to get there. And tied into that is the recognition of our members. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And Ava is saying it's good to know our police officers are cared for. All right. Indeed, we have to take care of them as they take care of us as they continue to serve and protect. All right, ACP Allen, we will see you before we wrap. So let's turn the spotlight on our officers as we recognize them in this space. And up from that batch, we have with us our 2024 Governor General's Award recipient, Sergeant Kovo, recognized for his outstanding service and commitment to community safety and excellence in law enforcement. Sergeant Deane Cover, welcome to our Community Safety Corner virtual. It's great to have you here with us.
Thank you so very much, Madam Witter. Thanks for having me. It's my delight to be here with you as well, and to all the listeners here on this platform.
All right. So, congratulations again on your Governor General's Award. And let me ask you, what motivates you to consistently excel in your professional role while still actively contributing to your community or communities? Because you are doing so much.
Well, I wish to thank you for your words of kindness in terms of congratulating me on my award. The journey, Madam Witter, is a long one. And there's a famous quote that Will Durant postulates, and I quote, "We are what we do repeatedly. Excellence then is not an act, but an habit." My base starts, the foundation rather of my base starts from way back, from I was, being grown by my grandparents. That's where the actual foundation started. In terms of selfless service and giving back to community, loving people. So that sort of attitude was what I would have seen whilst growing up by my grandparents. My grandmother, who is very dear to me, who has been, she has deceased for over 10 odd years. She was the one who really guided me along the path. And so I had no choice but to continue, in service to humanity. The love for humanity is what I exude like every day. There's not a day past when, I don't share with people, whether it be a word, a song, just something. The values that she has instilled in me, those also are that which helps me throughout my police career. And actually, as of August 2 this year, I have completed 21 years of impeccable service to the people of Jamaica. And it's my delight. I just love what I do. And I continue to do what I do best.
That's right. All right. Throughout your policing career, how have you observed the role of community involvement evolving? Because a lot is changing, policing is changing, and I know I'm loving what I'm seeing in terms of the changes that are taking place. But from your perspective, what has been your experience in terms of the evolution of community involvement, especially police officers?
Well, I would say 21 years ago when I joined the force, the citizens were more willing to work with the police. However, fast forwarding over the years, I believe that, somewhere along the line or the pathway, relationships may have gone sour or, solid. But in my mind, as a community-based expert, all is not lost. I believe, and I'm very hopeful, that through the programs and the interventions that the police that we are having and treating with and putting into the communities will restore that relationship that we once had with our citizenry. One of the things, Madam Witter, that I believe that, is a little bit of disadvantageous to us as an organization is the increase of social media. And I say this because everything that happens, people put it on social media. So you will see, for instance, or for an example, somebody fighting the police. Somebody may drive a car down on a police, hit a police off a bike, or, some of the other things that happens. And so for that reason, when others see it sometimes, they tend to want to follow. But I will say, and I'll say, to all Jamaicans, that our police officers are here to serve all of you, and it's our delight and pleasure. It's not us against you, the citizenry, as my boss says, but it's us working alongside the citizenry. And it's my hope and my pleasure in seeing us working together, because the aim is, as my boss says, safety and security. That is what we're about.
Indeed. And you have your crowd in the audience. Go, Sergeant Cover. All right, Dr. Lavelle, Lady Vaz, we recognize your presence here. All right, as Sergeant Cover continues to share his key experiences or projects that he believes earned him the Governor General's Excellence Award. What are those? So what would you say?
Well, but they are. I'd say that there are so much. I want to put it on record to thank my statistics teacher. That's Dr. Paul Bone from the Northern Caribbean University, and Inspector Carol Pete. That's my supervisor. They were the two persons who recommended me for this Governor General Achievements Award. They would have also seen some of the work that I've done in communities. In 2021, when we had the spike in COVID, I took the initiative from community safety, where I work at Area 3 Police Headquarters, to reach out to some of our neighborhood watchers, and those are the senior citizens who were unable to really come out to get their medications. So many of the senior citizens are living alone. So I work alongside them, along with my other colleague counterparts in the various community safety offices across Area 3. We managed we did a great work. A lot of us, to include myself, were honored, and we were called to the Commissioner of Police Office, our former Commissioner, Anthony Anderson, and we were all given plaques. And, so the issue of giving and, selfless service, it continues. Coming into Clarendon now, Dr. Lovell is on, he's one of my mentors at the Rotary Club in Maypen, and I took over leadership last year. I was one of the youngest leader that has ever led the Rotary Club of Maypen. And I led the club for 1 year, and we have done some remarkable work along with my team. And so two of that, which I can recall vividly, is the institution of the two garbage receptacles at the bus stop in Mineral Heights. I stopped there one day on foot when I had an accident, so I was on foot, and I saw the place looking very unsightly. And I went back to the team and I said to them, we need to get something. We need to get Mineral Heights looking, a little better. And we instituted the drums there. We got them marked and we got them installed. On May 1 of this year also, we also gifted over 20 mothers who had who just came out of delivered babies at the Maypen Hospital. We gifted 20 of them, and the work continues. We also support the infirmary, and and last but not least, we have a street feeding program, Rotary food street feeding program every second Sunday, where each member personal monies are being taken from pocket to feed over 45 street people. So those are some of the work that I'm involved in and I continue to do. And I'm not even talking about the other working in the communities, as my boss says, because we have been doing that and more. You have to have this passion, Madam Witter, for humanity. And I've stated that in my opening remarks, to really do the work that we do here at Community Safety, serving people, excellence. That is what we do.
Indeed. And the commendations are rolling in. All right. So don't worry, they'll be there in the replay, so you can check that out afterwards. So for those officers who are on, community group leaders, other organizational leaders. Sergeant Cover shared how he has been working in his community, and I'm sure you know a lot of other individuals in communities who are going above and beyond. So please, when the programs come around for you to submit names for recognition, don't hold back. Go ahead and send over those names so that these individuals can be recognized for the awesome work that they're doing. All right, so Sergeant Cover, as we round out your segment in the spotlight, what advice do you have for younger officers and community members looking to make a difference?
Well, frankly, Madam Witter, I'd say to my colleagues, younger colleagues, older colleagues, one of the things that I always try to do is to be mindful of self. That goes a far way. Respect the exchange with other people. And, by extension, the oath of office that each individual would have taken when they're joining the organization speaks volume to how we treat with people. And even if I should take it a little step further in terms of, how is it that, you on a daily basis, how you live your life, you try to live. And it's not to say, Madam Witter, that tribulations, trials, and tests won't come. But the truth is how you respond. That is going to be the end product of what has happened. But for me, keep your private and your public life unsolid and continue to be you. Don't change, but most importantly, be mindful of self and who you may cross.
All right. I hope we're able to hear most of what was said. We had a little in and out at some point, but I got the main point. Right. So thank you so much for that encouragement. And I trust that your colleagues and others who are on will take a page or two from your book and just to carry forward the torch and just light up Jamaica bright and set things right. All right. Thank you so much. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
All right. Yes. Thank you for the awesome work that you continue to do. All right. So you can go ahead and read some of the comments while they're backstage. All right. So Sergeant Cover makes way for our next champion here in Area 3, our Community Relations champion out of Clarendon Division, Constable Holt, who builds strong ties with the community through mentorship, youth programs, and leadership in local initiatives. All right, so let's get Constable Holt on. Rojehn, Constable Holt, Rojehn Holt, welcome.
Good evening, madam. Good evening, viewers.
All right, so let's get started. As a community relations coordinator, what strategies have worked best for fostering trust between the police and residents?
One of the strategies that I use is one of the fundamental characteristics of community-based policing, which is one of the 9 Ps, which is personalize. Now, this allows the police to break down the barriers that are there between the citizens and the police so that we can form very close relationships and work together to build a safer community. And this allows the community members to see the police on a different light, not just out there policing the communities, but they see us as community builders, they see us as friends, they see us as mentors, they see us as teachers. And this allows them to be more relaxed with us as the police so that they can engage with us more. Not just to just drive around in the police service vehicles, but personalized is one of the characteristics where we use to help to develop a community-based initiative for each and every community in our policing area, because every single community is different. And because of this, we cannot use the initiative that fits for one community for another. So we as a police, we have to tailor our community-based initiative to fit each and every community so that none is left out and so that all is appreciated through our effort. This allows for us, the police and the citizens, to build a better relationship, and with building a better relationship, we grow trust with each other.
All right, well said. All right, but you're outside of your official duties. You also volunteer as a mentor with Heart and Estate Trust. How has your mentorship work with these trainees impacted both the trainees and the community or communities that you work with?
Um, this was only possible due to an initiative taken by our operations officer, DSP Anton Cardoza, who about 2 years ago, I believe, engaged Archers NSTA, where a few of us from the Clarendon division was able to go to a seminar where we were taught what it is meant to be a mentor and all of that. And because of that, we were assigned mentees. And it has been an experience, and I must say that it has been a good one, because mentees that we have engaged with are doing a lot better in community. Some of them have gone on to be even police officers, soldiers. Some of them have gone on to be to the universities. Some have gotten work in the working environment, and as such, it removes individuals from the community where a lot of persons would look down on, and to say that these persons would not amount to anything that is good. And I must say that it has opened our eyes as the police to let us see that there is no one that is beyond redemption. Because once we take the time to listen to someone, to hear their story, to understand it, then we can better able to assist them to reaching their full potential to become what they ought to be in society and to fulfill their God-given purpose.
Well said. And that's another avenue that you can continue to build police citizen relations. Awesome. And that being said, we have I think Sergeant Cover would have mentioned about sometimes altercation between police citizens. What role do you believe communication play in ensuring the success of community relations in your area?
It plays a vital role, because without communication, then the citizens would not know what the police is about, and the police would not understand the plight of the citizens. So communication is vital. And in the Clarendon division, where I know that every station, at least once per month or twice per month, every station conducts what we call a widely publicized meeting, right? And two such meetings is coming up in the Lioneltown policing area, where on the 18th of this month, we will be engaging the promoters, the party promoters. As we know that individuals from the community, a lot of them rely on keeping events to survive or to provide an income so that they can provide for their family. So we, the police, will be engaging these individuals in a face-to-face meeting so that we can hear their cries, so that we can understand them better, and so that they also can understand that, hey, we the police, we are here not just the police, but we are here to assist you with whatever you're doing, as also to enforce the law. So it is important that not just because we are doing community work, but we're also here to enforce the law, right? And we will do so. Another meeting that will be held on the 25th of this month at the Lionel Town taxi stand. We'll be targeting the taxi operators in this area. For too long, too many road fatalities has plagued our country. And we believe that with engaging the taxi operators on a more frequent basis, sensitizing them on the Road Traffic Act, sensitizing them on road safety, that we can minimize road fatalities on our roads, on our nation's roads. So these are just a few avenues that we use, widely publicized meetings, we keep informal meetings, and also an avenue that the Jamaica Constabulary Force has taken, which has garnered some attention and have gained traction, is the Wanted Wednesdays, where on social media it is a very serious one, but it offers another side of the police to say, hey, that we can be relaxed but yet still serious and enforce the law. And everywhere you go on a Wednesday, citizens will ask you, what is coming up on Wanted Wednesday? When is the next Wanted Wednesday? And these are the questions that we get. So communication is vital so that we can let our citizens know what we, the police, are about. And the citizens can let us understand what they are going through so that we as a police can better police them, better serve them, better protect them.
There are a lot of virtual flowers going up in the comments here. Let me just pick one. Josephine Coleman, Constable Holt has been very instrumental in community development in Rocky Point. I think he has taken a page from Sergeant Covert's book. It's great to have mentors, right? All right, as we round out Constable Holt, describe for us any memorable moments where your efforts had a significant impact on the youth or community at large. What would be your top pick?
Quite a few, but I will highlight two. I remember back in 2017, excuse me, while I was the leader for the police youth clubs in the Lionel Town policing area. I remember one day a mother stormed into the Lionel Town guard room complaining bitterly that her daughter had a physical fight with her and her brother. And they were tired of her and her behavior. Her father lives in Canada, and her father had indicated that he will not assist her or to take her in Canada to further her studies until her behavior had changed. Now, it was a very touchy one, but I took on the challenge, and every like 2 times per week, that student from the Veer Technical High School would visit the Lionel Town Police Station, where she would go through mentorship and counseling. But not only that, she would be assisted academically, where various police officers, one such person that I can remember, two, Inspector Sharon Green May, she was a station commander at that time, and she was very involved. And also our present welfare officer for Clarendon Division, Constable K. Booth Forbes, that all the initiatives that I have taken on, she has been there right by my side to motivate me to keep going and all of that. And I can remember about 3 months out of working with the student, we started to see changes. He graduated from the Veer Technical High School with 9 grade ones in CSEC, and her behavior completely changed. He went on to migrate to Canada, where she became a registered nurse in Canada. And every year that she visited from Canada, she would stop by the station to say, Mr. Holt, thank you. You have saved my life and my future. And these are just some of the things that we do as police officers, where we do things from the heart. We don't do it for the moment or just to be in the spotlight. We do it from the heart. And I cannot finish without highlighting one such individual as the force recognizing the service of women in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Clarendon Top Cop, Lasco Top Cop, Corporal Fiona Henry. She has been a pillar in this division. She is a track star for Clarendon Division for Area 3 at large, and she currently works at the Forepath Police Station. And I hear ACP Allen mention the incident that took place in Cherry Lane, and Corporal Fiona Henry with her station manager, which is Inspector Carnias, took on some initiative to have the youth club in Yardtown up and running. They will be getting a youth club in Cherry Lane up and running. They have constant meeting with the citizens of Cherry Lane, Yardtown, and surrounding areas. They continue to work with the various agencies, the Justice of the Peace that plays vital roles in the four-path policing area. They are also looking at starting an initiative, which is a doctor-child initiative as well. And I must say that these are some very good initiatives that we, as a division in Clarendon, and I know that the entire Area 3 would be supporting this, right? That these are just some initiatives that we take on to ensure a safer community. And I must highlight as well that the Clarendon Community Safety and Security Branch has been doing some tremendous work. Currently, the Clarendon Division has 20 active neighborhood watches, 11 active police youth clubs. There are beach watches, and also in the southern section of Clarendon, we have started from the Lioneltown Police Station aspect that will branch off into the wider parish, a football program where for the year has started, we have played 3 matches where it is the police, the Clarendon police, against the citizens. And 2 matches have been played in the community of Rocky Point, which is one of our some troubled area, the Rocky Point community. And I must say that the citizens are loving this and they are even asking for more matches. We are looking at starting a marching band also in the Rocky Point community. And I heard you made mention of Mrs. Josephine Coleman. She's a justice of the peace at Rocky Point, and I must say that she has been a driving force behind change in the Rocky Point community. And as such, this marching band that will be started, as also a youth club in the Rocky Point community, will go on to be a bigger marching band. We're looking at starting a Clarendon mass band. So we'll start a marching band in Rocky Point, then we'll start a marching band in Central Clarendon and in Northern Clarendon. And when they combine, we'll have a mass band for Clarendon. So youth all around Clarendon will be engaged and to be continuously engaged positively. And there is a quote that I love to use, that surround yourself with positive people, because positive people will always give you a positive interaction, and positive interaction will always result in a positive outcome. There are some individuals that I would like to shout out to that have been very integral in my upbringing and in the police work here in Clarendon Division. But I must say, here at Clarendon, we work as a team, and I will always say this. And I see this as the parade commander for Clarendon Division. I see this every single time we do a parade where the entire division comes together, no matter what is happening, so that we can support each other, to support the initiative. And we must say to the Clarendon High Command, to each and every member of the Clarendon Division that continues to work hard within the streets of Clarendon, we see you, we recognize your hard work, and we are encouraging you to keep up the hard work, because it will pay off in the end.
I suppose the audience, those live and those who are watching the replay, will recognize why Constable Holt is dubbed our community relations champion, because that was a whole lot of community relations right there. And our Lasco Top Cup for Clarendon is in the comments, Fiona Henry, sharing that our role as officers goes way beyond just fighting crime. We have to major in the minor. Like Constable Holt said, we have to tailor the strategies used for various communities because everyone operates differently. All right, Constable Holt, thank you so much for sharing. All right, so Constable Holt makes way for our next officer that's joining us in the space. And this is our Lasco Top Cup for the Manchester Division, Constable Lennox Sterling, who is a dedicated community outreach, I'm going to quote dub him, specialist, organizing educational and social support programs for those in need. Let's bring on Constable Sterling. Welcome, Constable Sterling. Unmute.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening, viewers, good evening, madam, and thanks for making it possible to have me on this program.
Oh, we could not have done otherwise. We need to share some flowers, albeit virtually, for the hard work that you all are doing. All right. So let's go right into it. We're going to go over the usual 1 hour, but it's well worth it. So let's start by hearing from you, Constable Sterling, more about the importance of youth engagement through initiatives like the Police Youth Clubs and your involvement in track meets.
All right, yes, madam. In 1954, a civil servant by the name of Mr. Basil Ferguson, he engaged some youth in the community of Lucy, and then he did a survey, and he realized that there was a high number of unemployment among the youths, and this was leading them towards criminal activity and become a maim in the community. So Mr. Ferguson approached a corporal at the Sandy Bay police station by the name of Mr. Emerald Matthews and put the ideas to him, and from there the first police youth club was formed in Hanover. It was formed on the basis to build trust between the youths and law enforcement officials, to prevent crime and violence among the youth and to engage them in meaningful activities. It teaches these youth leadership qualities and personal development. It also strengthens community ties between the youths and the police, and it promotes physical and mental being. In 1983, I became a member of the Ellis Road Police Youth Club in my community of Franklin Town. That is where I was born and where I grew up. And whilst being a member of this youth club, it teaches me a lot. And as I was there, I got involved in many community activities and was sent on the Youth Empowerment Program, the first Youth Empowerment Program, now the National Youth Service. I was one of the pioneers on that course. And at that time, I met 3 soldiers. They were the one who was coordinating the course. It was Sergeant, at the time, Mark Ricketts, Sergeant Douglas, and Staff Sergeant Henry Records. And they encouraged me to become a member of the Jamaica Defense Force. And I got enlisted and I served my country as a soldier. This was caused through me being a member of a police youth club. And while serving as a soldier, I met up with a lot of police. Cornwall Biggerford, Bingy White, and several others, Miss Foster Turner. And those were the persons who encouraged me to become a member of the Jamaica Constable Air Force. And after serving my tenure in the JDF, I then got enlisted in the JCF. And I continue to serve my community of Franklin Town as a mentor to these youths. I need to mention a few persons in my community who are members of the Police Youth Club and who have gained high achievements. Most of them, if not all, are justice of the peace. One such person is Andrew Goyegan. We call him Marky. Up until this day, still serving our community, whereas the summer program, where he assists at-risk youth through physical activities, speech and drama, debates, and so on. Yeah, Mr. Donat Booth, JP also, who also is involved in the cleanup campaign in Franklin Town area. And these are persons who serve as police youth club heights in the 80s up to the 90s and onward. Mr. Milton Tomlinson, a member of the Peace Management Initiative. Even our own here, Miss Sandra White. She's a JP also, and she's a Regional 5 Welfare Officer in the Ministry of Education. And she was the person who was chosen by the JCF to go to Dubai to represent the youth clubs in Jamaica. And this was completely paid by the Jamaica Constable Force. She didn't have to pay $1 out of her pocket. So the Police Youth Club is doing well in enhancing the youth and getting them to be leaders for the future. As it relates to my involvement in track and field, it is my passion. I have loved track and field from I was a toddler. And when I became a police officer, I met up with a friend of mine, Lenford Skibby. We call him Skibby Myers, Lenford Myers. And he was the one who got me involved in as being a starter for races across the island. Mile Western Relays, St. Elizabeth, States Invitation, Western Championship, Jamalco Invitation, and track meets like that. I was also the person who went to the Police Federation conference and spoke with DCP Stewart and begged him to have sports return to the JCF. That was in 2002. In 2003, I went back again and I spoke to him and asked him, and he said, yes, sport will return to the JCF. And in May of this year, the National Police Championship was held at GC Foster College. I was also the starter at that event. I started all the races there. And it was a festive atmosphere where people from diverse areas interacted with the police, rubbing shoulder with the police, and having a good time with the police. I have also approached Mr. Keith Wellington about a project that I have mentalized. And he is the president of the Interschool Secondary Sports Association. It's a Secondary School Sports Association. And I have also spoken to Mr. Garth Gale about the same initiative. And he's the president of the Jamaica Athletic Administration Association, J3A. And this initiative is that we will go into the schools and have all of these schools give us their school color. Their name can be written on it. And then we'll put all these colors together and make a big banner for whatever sporting activities that is put on by ISA. This banner is displayed here with all the schools across Jamaica having a color on that banner. And it will be in collaboration with JCF, which on one side have a JCF press, and on the other side you have the ISA press. And then there will be a hand in the middle, like in a shaking posture, with the word across it saying, advancing our schools and our youth through sporting activities and bringing peace and love to our school through athletics.
Fantastic. And as Lady Forbes is sharing here, these are members with passion, and we hear the passion coming out here as you shared about the different initiatives and how they all started. But you continue to serve across parishes. How do you manage such a wide scope of community outreach?
All right. First, I used to work in Trelawny Division, and I worked at Falmouth Police Station, Clarkstone Police Station, Warsop, Waitabit, and Ulster Spring. And during that time, I saw that there are persons in the community who are not as well off as others, and that they needed help. So I then take the initiative to coordinate a feeding program, which in the Easter session, I would buy bun and cheese. And when I buy the bun and cheese, I would get assistance from other persons, because I would buy from the bakery. When I buy those buns at the bakery, if I bought a dozen, then they will give me 2 or 3 on it. And then I will cut up in slices and share it with those less fortunate persons in the community. During the Christmas season, I will buy meat stuff and thing and put on a nice little feast for those persons who cannot afford it. Who I know that during the Christmas season, is a time of love, where people give love at Christmas time, where persons need to be warm and need to feel warm and need to feel love. So I took on that initiative and I started this thing about 6 years ago, and it has moved from strength to strength. Then I came to Christina Police Station in the Manchester Division, and on a night like this, I was at work with the then Sergeant Gardner. He is now Assistant Superintendent Gardner. And he was brainstorming about some initiative that we could use as police officer to get the community to get together. And whilst they're brainstorming, they put it to me about the community feeding program, Christmas feeding program. And it sounded nice, and I encouraged it. And we put it to the inspector in charge of the station, and he said, work with it. And we started off. And the first year, we have about 40 guests, and we feted them in style. I was the one who did the cooking, and I can tell the meal was very sumptuous. Even days after persons was talking about it. And then in last year, it even developed to more, where about 50 something persons were there. And this year we are trying to get it up to 100. And I'm trying to engage other persons. Well, we have opened back our WhatsApp group, the charity WhatsApp group, in collaboration with Zion Methodist Church and the then pastor, Reverend Sasha Lambert. She's one of the persons who help us a great lot in having this done. And then, as it relates to the back to school, a friend of mine and I came to the conclusion that we will put in on a back to school treat for the children. And I put in some of my friends, and some of them gave us sponsorship. And on the 31st of August, we had a tremendous back to school in the rain. About 200 students were there. We fetted them. We gave them books, geometry set, calculators, pencils, bags, shoes, brush, socks, everything that students need to go back to school was there. We also had a little question and answer section where we asked the children about questions relating to Manchester, who is the coast of Manchester, the rivers in Manchester and things like that. Most of these times when I see in this program, they always have the children dancing to win books and things like that. I don't believe in that. I believe in education. And if the youths are not educated, then the country will fall.
Well said. I'm getting the feedback here. Right. Well said, Constable Sterling. No, it seems as if we're going to have a special segment so you all can share these rich stories because there's so much to share and so little time. All right. We should have had our fourth officer here giving recognition to our Constable Sterling. I'm going to put you backstage for a little bit, but don't go anywhere. I'm going to wrap up in a little while, but I have to share recognition for DC or District Constable Ericton Mullings out of our Lasco Top Cup for the St. Elizabeth Division. Although he is unable to join us tonight due to a personal loss, we honor his incredible contributions to community safety and development. As the founder of the Golden Circle of Friends Social and Charity Club, DC Mullings has transformed the lives of countless individuals through initiatives such as providing scholarships and financial support to students from 6 primary schools, sourcing US $6,000 scholarship for a Newell High School student, assisting schools with essential infrastructure improvements such as bathroom fittings, fans, and painted pedestrian crossings. DC Mullings' unwavering commitment to education, his leadership as a board member of Newell High and Geneva Primary Schools, and his active involvement in the Treasure Beach Football Club and local security initiatives have left a lasting impact. His dedication to uplifting others through charity and service reflects the true essence of community guardianship. We extend our deepest condolences to DC Mullings and his family during this difficult time. And we acknowledge his profound contribution to building a safer, more supportive community. DC Mullings, when you do watch this, the relatives who might be watching, team members who are watching, please extend our condolences and the recognition that was shared here as we continue to bear him up in prayer. Reach out to him and the family as they go through this period. He should have been here with us. He was so excited to be here with us, but unfortunately couldn't make it because of that. So let's do the official close out. Sergeant Cover, ACP Allen, join us here as we close out. ACP, are you still with us? Yes, thank you all so much as you continue to reach out. It has been a rich evening of sharing. The officers would have shared the initiatives and the different impact that they have been making in their different spaces. And as was shared for those who would have transitioned from one location to the next, that they remain who they are and living true to their calling in terms of service above self and reaching out to ensure that they empower others. ACP would have shared about the importance of the community police relations and how they continue to build on that and how our support is important as they continue in that regard. So let me thank ACP Calvin Allen, our officers who are in the spotlights being recognized as our community guardians, some of our community guardians in Area 3, as they continue to go above and beyond in serving the different communities, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Area 3 in general, as we continue to support our police officers to make their jobs easier and our lives as citizens safer. Thank you, Fiona, as she continues to encourage. So Constable Lennox Sterling, Lasco Top Cop Manchester Division, Constable Rojehn Holt, our community relations champion for the Clarendon Division. And we are also acknowledging our Lasco Top Cop for Clarendon, Fiona Henry, our Lasco Top Cop for St. Elizabeth, who was unfortunately not able to be here with us this evening, in the person of DC Ericton Mullings, and of course, our Governor General Excellence Awardee, Sergeant Deane now at Area 3, serving us with excellence. Thank you, officers, for sharing space with us this evening. And I trust that what you would have shared will encourage and inspire other officers to come on board in leading the charge to make our spaces safer, and that our clubbites and others who are looking on will want to be a part of the rich legacy that you're all building out here through the JCF and in your different spaces, not just serving through the JCF, but also reaching out, going above and beyond to extend service in these different areas. For those who are able to join us live and kept the comments popping and sharing commendations for the officers, thank you ever so much. For those who will be watching the replay and sharing your commendations and condolences to DC Mullings, thank you ever so much. And just remember, we meet in this space on Thursdays at 8 p.m. First Thursdays, we look at culture. Second Thursdays is safety and security. Third Thursdays is community corner, anything community empowerment. That's what we do here. On fourth Thursday, it's our local governance segment, and we are highlighting the different committees and the administrative arm that supports those committees in the Clarendon Municipal Corporation. And we have a fifth Thursday in this month. So our youth leaders will be in this space sharing the awesome things that they are doing. All right. Thank you so much, Lady Weller. Right. Thank you all again, and have yourself a fantastic rest of the evening. If you're not yet a part of the Serenity Resource Connector family across social media platform, go ahead and subscribe, follow, so that you don't miss what's going on here. And as I always say, do not keep this rich information to yourself. Sharing is caring. So please share the link so that others can get the information, and not just get it, but act on it. All right? God bless you. Have a fantastic rest of the night.
Thank you so very much, Madam Victor. Good evening, everyone.